that we just holding on to something that won't work
Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Man, am I glad to be back on the daily grind and the daily streaming after that little interruption of travel that I had. Hey, there I am. We got lots of stuff to talk about. I hope everybody's locked in. We'll get to this news stuff here in a second. Let's check out those crypto bubbles. Let's make sure I can speak English tonight if I'm going to do a live stream. Shout out to Melissa, my wonderful mod, who always posts my links for me. What more can I say than I really appreciate you? Chris Goss 333, fellow lifer in the house, was just watching the Lifer show as always. And it was great. It was like a very personal show that he did where he talked all about his life and stuff. Those are the best. Shout out to Stregahar in the building. And, of course, Chipper. Chipper coming through. Chipper always showing the love when he comes through. He is gifted memberships. He's left super chats. He's done all kinds of things. Shout out to Chipper. I love when those names that we recognize come back through the stream. Still looking for 007 Zoe and a handful of other people, of course. But you know how it goes. It's bear market vibes. You got to build in the bear market, and sometimes building means working extra hours, doing all kinds of different things, right? Got to get a little bit of more money for those bags at the bottom of the market. At least that's what I'm doing. I've talked all about it. My strategy right now is just building bags at the bottom of the bear market. Hopefully we're going to see the true bottom around October 5th, historically. 1,038 days, I believe, from the previous bottom. That's just the math, right? History rhymes, but it never perfectly repeats. Let's look at these crypto bubbles we got. Pump.fun up 5%, hash up 7%. Let's toggle that 1 through 1,000. Take a look. Tell me what you want to hear about. We didn't have a series going educationally this week. We'll get back to that next week. But I only had 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and then it restarts anyway. So I didn't drum up like this big educational series. But we'll be back to that next week for sure. We've thrown around ideas like maybe doing a whole week where we cover Pulse Chain, right? And Hex and that kind of whole ecosystem and everything that goes on in there. I'm pretty excited about that. I would love to hear any other suggestions of anything else that you'd like me to cover. Always drop them here. Drop them in our free Discord, link in the chat and, of course, in the description. Hold up, I'm changing accounts real quick. All right. Welcome in, welcome in. So, yes, as always, we are going to have a great stream, and tonight will be a little less educational focused, a little more a pulse on the market, as if you saw the thumbnail, right? So, KDO, whatever we're supposed to call this. Unify, up 38%. AKE still doing really well, up another 36%. And look at that volatility. Man, I wonder what the percentage is there between that. But either way, on the month, it's up 1,300%. So a 13x, right? This Talus network, always very interesting. Trying to remember, what was Talus on? That's on the SWE network, right? Have to look at that again. It's hard to keep it all straight. If you feel that, understand that I am with you, trying to keep all these tickers and what they are, and categorize them into what they are. I feel like I do a pretty good job, but sometimes it's definitely a little overwhelming. So we have eHex. The more you do it in compound every day, the less overwhelming it is, though. I do want to point that out. So eHex is 27% to the upside today. So it looks like there is some bullishness in the Hex Pulse, that whole ecosystem and community. Rats 38% to the upside. It is a Bitcoin ordinal kind of project here. It is Bitcoin DeFi, and it's running. It's been a while since I've seen a Bitcoin DeFi project really run. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Does this bring more attention to Bitcoin DeFi? Do we see other things running? There's so much built in Bitcoin DeFi, so many projects that have launched, I should say, but we haven't really seen a lot of them take off, get a lot of exposure, get a lot of money, market cap, share in the market, that kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Or does it fizzle out? Because that's what it tends to kind of always do, is then fizzle out and kind of go to nothing. A priory, I remember this coin. Do I remember what it was? Not exactly. Let's see what our biggest category of the day is. 5 to 600. Let's grab that. We got Puff up 104%. Stonk Broker, no S, Stonk Broker. Pawns is down a little bit. That is a launch pad for Robinhood. We got Bless. There's What If is doing well out there. Stream's been going for a little while there. I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so. You didn't miss much. Welcome in, welcome in. So, we have Synapse. I know Melissa is holding this. Looks like it's pulled back a little bit. Might be time to grab a little bit more. Haven't seen this in a while. Phrase AI, it's kind of just recognized the ticker there, but it's kind of drifted to the background. We got Bless. Bless is that, GPU resources for AI and everything agentic network and related. Let's move on and do our price rundown here. Why do I feel like it is so zoomed out? I think that's me. I've been messing with the zoom. Is it gonna do it? It's gonna zoom in for me. Now it's way too zoomed in. Can't win. Moving all the tabs to the sidebar, if you can see, has really changed how a lot of things line up. Has anybody else done this? Upgraded and put all the tabs on the side? Maybe I'm late to the party. Maybe everybody was already doing that. 2.2 trillion, 1.3 to the downside today in the overall market cap of cryptocurrency. Again, tonight's stream is just about keeping the pulse on the market. Bitcoin, $62,837. Ethereum, $1,844. BNB, $574. XRP, $1.06, still holding up above $1. I'd like to see it continue to do that and not really go too much lower in these bear market vibes. Solana, $72. It is having a 3.4% pullback. Same with XRP, 3.7% pullback in the last 7 days. Hyperliquid, $52.32. Hyperliquid is down 10% right now. So is this the beginning of a bigger dump, or is this a nice pullback and a good entry? Time will tell, right? Never financial advice here on the stream. We just do our research and keep a pulse on the market. Dogecoin, 7 cents. That doesn't mean I won't ever say anything about how I like things or, how I feel about things. Like I've said, I'm building spot bags at the bottom of the market. That is the idea. I won't know what the bottom of the market is until I look back. We can do TA. We can look at all kinds of different things, but you won't truly know if you nailed it until it's already over. And that is why it is so important to raise that crypto IQ. So if you're here doing that, then I appreciate your commitment. All right. And who's here with me? Throw something in the chat if you're here with me. Obviously, I can see Minecraft for Kids is here with me. Strugahart, there you go. Strugahart number 2. Let's see the fans. Melissa's got 75 XP. Strugahart's got 50. Chipper's got 50. Minecraft Kids got 50. In that order. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Strugahart, you still got to reach out and get your giveaway money. I don't know what you're waiting for. Zcash, $463. Monero, $362. Cardano, 17 cents. Cardano up 5.6%. Chainlink, $8.06. XLM, 17 cents. Canton Network, 11 cents. Canton Network looking like it could be a good buy. I don't see Canton Network going anywhere. They have I don't know about everything in their ecosystem, but they have a great project and it has a lot of exposure. It has a lot of attention. I think there's a lot of big people who want a piece of Canton Network. I think it'll do well as we roll into a bull market. Toncoin, $1.39, also known as Gram. Litecoin, $44. HBAR just under 7 cents. HBAR and Dogecoin have been pretty much on par. I like in the SWE prices. SWE is on sale, I tell you. And I think SWE is going to continue to do well. We did a whole series on SWE. If you missed that, I would go check that out. But it is at 67 cents right now. And we will move on from there to what is trending on CoinGecko. It is Saturday night. I don't know what time it is for you, but for me, this stream starts at 10 p.m. So it's only 2 hours to midnight. So we're going to go over everything that we can, but I don't know that it's going to be a 4-hour stream tonight. The Lucas says, I'm here with you, homie. Hey, I really appreciate you dropping something in the comment. For anybody who's not dropping something in the comments, just know it means a lot to me to see who's all out there, see who's with me. So I appreciate you, the Lucas. I appreciate you letting me know that you are here. And let's see what we got trending over on CoinGecko. We have Pudgy Penguins, always probably the strongest NFT project in the game. Which is not saying a lot because NFTs are not real popular right now. If they are at all even getting any exposure, NFTs, it's just for the utility that they have, not the artwork. We have what I'm going to call Gravity Token, but it's GRVT token. We'll take a look at that. We have Caddy Coin with a $20 million market cap. Aave, Pi Network, Shiba Inu. Pawns, again, is a launch pad for the Robinhood ecosystem. Is it going to be the one? I'm not sure. Bonk, Aerodrome Finance, Aikido, Cody, Pump.Fun, XRP, FET, the Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. I do own a little bit of FET from a long time ago. And of course, Ronin. Ronin has been making moves. Ronin has done a great job of coming back from just the depths of nobody even knew what was going on with it. Let's take a look at this GRVT token, right? Because you're here to learn what the heck is going on in crypto right this second, right? So we got this GRVT token pulled up, and we are going to talk about it, but we're going to intermix a little bit of news, right? So welcome in if you're just coming in. You're so funny. Says I can see you. I can see when you look at the comments. For sure you can. Tokenized stock trading surge, but the headline number is misleading, right? So tokenized stocks and ETF trading hit a record 11.3 billion in July, up 288%. But CoinDesk says that most of that came from one Binance-linked QQQ token called QQQB, which has generated about $9.2 billion all by itself. Without QQQB, that seems a little repetitive, tokenized equity volume was only about 2 billion. which was actually around 30% lower than June's estimated total. So the story here is tokenized stocks are growing, but the market is still concentrated and incentive driven, and this Binance created QQQ has been doing a lot of volume, and really overall normal tokenized stocks is actually less than it was in June. Bank of Italy says stablecoin remittance are not always cheaper. I don't know how that could be possible, but yeah, that doesn't even make sense. I think I know what they're going to say here, but let's take a look at it. Struggleheart says, you've been busy, won't gonna push it. Hey man, I got time for you, Struggleheart. Just let me know where you want that crypto that you won sent. I'm not gonna make you wait around. You come to the stream, you won some crypto, $10, and whatever crypto you want, just let me know what you want and drop your address you want it sent to, and I will get it to you right away. I just don't want you to feel like you're inconveniencing, man. You won something, you let me know, and I will send it right away. Did you see how I was wondering how to get XP on the stream? It's from putting in chats. Says I'm gonna think for something for his channel. Yeah, man, you know that the secret to success is getting started, as the lifer always told us, and that's when I got started, because he was right. You can't get to the end of the tunnel if you don't put one foot in front of the other, right? You don't just magically teleport to the end of the tunnel. So you got to get started every day. Bank of Italy says stablecoin remittance is not always cheaper. All right, let's read this story and see what we think about this. A Bank of Italy studied 200 USD remittance across 10 international corridors and found total costs range from about 0.3% to almost 9%. Now, automatically here, this is an excerpt from a story on CoinDesk, but they didn't tell us what network they use. They didn't tell us anything about anything, right? Are they using USDC or XRP or XL, like Dogecoin? What are you using, right? The blockchain fee itself was usually tiny. The real cost came from exchange fees, foreign exchange spreads, bank withdrawals, and the last mile from crypto bank into local currency. Yeah, I mean, but that's all depending on what you use here. So the thing is, you could do a study on this if you were a bank, and you could use like the most ridiculous networks, right? You could try to, cash out straight to your bank from high interest or exchanges that charge you a lot of money, and then you could write a story about how, it's not really that much better. Or you could just use XRP and use something like Coinbase here in America, and you're not paying a bunch of fees. So I don't know. I hate when they do these kind of stories, because if you don't have a crypto IQ that's even mid-range, you're not going to understand how they skew these stories. Like, this story to me says, hey, if you are not smart, you could spend a lot of money moving money around. They don't tell you if you are smart, you could also not spend much money moving money around, right? Routers exposed a major Iran-linked crypto sanction evasion network. Nobody should be surprised about this. They have money that they need to get in, and they got money they need to get out. They need to pay for things, and they're going to go around, and cryptocurrency networks make that very possible, right? All right. So Routers reported that Dubai-based exchange Shellbit processed at least $4 billion since May 2024, while allegedly connecting Iranian gambling sites. Is gambling even legal in Iran? Somehow I feel like, gambling is not allowed. All right, Iran Central Bank and entities linked to the IRGC. The block summarized that at least 676 million moved from Shellbit-linked addresses to Binance, including about 540 million after Dubai regulators fined the unlicensed exchange in January 2025. So to summarize here, crypto sanctions enforcement is becoming one of the biggest global regulatory stories. We're going to do one more and then we'll kind of bounce back to what we were doing. So we got Russia banned crypto mining around Moscow through 2032. So Russia issued a decree banning crypto mining and mining pool participation in Moscow. And this is Moscow specifically. They just had a bunch of big news about legalizing crypto through their main central banks and stuff like that. The surrounding Moscow region and parts of Kursk from August 15th, 2026 through the end of 2032. So for quite some time. Officials cited pressure on the electrical grid. No surprise. I don't know a ton about Russia, but it doesn't look like their power grids, any type of, what's the right word? Not structure, any type of like internet, power, heating, like all these things are very archaic. It's what it seems like. I watch a lot of travel documentaries and stuff like that from all over the world, and it seems like Russia, maybe because it's so cold and things like that, I don't know, but they don't seem to have the best electrical grids. With regional estimates saying mining may consume about 1 gigawatt of power across Moscow's grid and then can't handle it for whatever reason. Russia is not banning crypto entirely, but it's cracking down where mining threatening energy supply. For any country, just know that power is, energy is one of the biggest, most important things as a country. So you will see them get quite feisty over things like oil, power consumption, stuff like that. GRVT token. Let's bounce back to this. This is trending today. It's got about 32.3 million in it. I hope you like me mixing it up. I could sit and do, just news stories for an hour or whatever time it takes, 30 minutes, whatever, and then bounce and do this, or we can bounce in between it. I feel like bouncing in between makes it a little bit more exciting of a show. Ethereum contract, BNB smart contract here for GRVT. I want to call it Gravity, but I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. Can be traded on centralized exchanges. Always know on CoinGecko, if you come down to the bottom, I don't show this off a lot. I used to in my pre-recorded videos show this all the time, but you can see everywhere that you can buy it. Centralized exchange, CEX, decentralized exchange, DEX, for anybody who doesn't know, and you can see exactly where it's available. Save yourself a bunch of time and headache if you get excited about something and you really want to get into it. Let's take a look at the max chart here because it's just a 24-hour chart that's up. All right, this thing doesn't seem like it's been around very long, since yesterday. And we talked about this coin yesterday. Price-wise, it hasn't done a whole lot, right? Went from 27 cents to 24 cents. Now it's at 28 cents. But I don't really know a ton about it. Let's look at what tags we got. DeFi, derivatives, perpetuals. All right, well, I already get it. Every dollar does more here. They don't like my IP address. I really wanted to read that. So a full stack wealth app that lets you earn, trade, and invest all at the same time without the lockup and minimums. Now, lockups and things like that, minimums, that's neither here nor there, but lockups and staking times and stuff like that, that is so that money will stay parked and money wealth can be built in an ecosystem. So that's not always a bad thing. Earn while you trade, invest while you earn. It's got the right words. It's got a very sleek, clean looking website here. This is a very Web 2 version of a website. I don't see a Web 3. I'm not going to read a ton of it because we already kind of know what this is. It is financial. It is centralized exchange, perpetual derivatives, that kind of vibe here. Start an account. Okay, so I can just log in straight up with a wallet. And they have a invest and get 13% APY. Private wealth in your pocket. Invest in institutional grade funds once reserved for the 1%. Now just starting at $1. Start investing. Website looks really clean. 13% is a great return. But still seems safe, right? Because you see these high returns, 26%, 28%, doesn't seem sustainable. I never see them last long term. Like, where do you know where you could get like over 20% APY that has been around for more than 2 or 3 years, consistently giving you that return. I can't think of a single thing, and I look at this stuff every day. So 15% is pretty high. I mean, most people would always talk about Atom in the Cosmos ecosystem, Atom, because it would give about 12% APY pretty consistently, which is really good. But the coin has dropped so much that I don't even know if that APY is really all that profitable, right? You need that project to go back up in order for all those gains to really be realized, right? But this looks really interesting, 15%. I'm going to keep that in the back of my head because sometimes people will ask me, you know, where can I park my money in crypto that's super safe? I'm not trading. I'm not holding coins that can go down and have hacks and all of this stuff. Although crypto, anything can happen at any point is what I tell them. But a lot of them I tell them like just simple APYs and stuff like this is the way to go. So we'll keep that in mind. I'm going to keep an eye on that. I like that because I wouldn't mind parking, you know, a couple $1,000 at 15%. Caddy coin. I feel like I've heard people talk about this one. Struggle Heart says, I don't listen to all the stories. Okay, you mean the news stories specifically? It's good to know. Chipper says, like, super chats, chatting, gifting. Hey, Chipper is all over it. I appreciate you, Chipper. And Chipper's still here. I would love to see that. Sometimes people bounce in and show some love and then they leave, which is fine. We're all busy people. Maybe you just watched, 2 hours of the Lifer stream and then I come on and I'm probably going to be on for like 2 hours. That's 4 hours of your life. That's hard to do every day. I get it. But I love when people stick around. So 248% here. Max chart looks like it came out the 26th. So it's been around a few days. Pretty low, and then it took off. Where is it? It's a Pump.Fun coin. I've learned a lot about Pump.Fun. It's been very insightful. Shout out to the Prime Minister for all of his insight and teaching. For those who don't know, he's a pro for sure. And when I see these Pump.Fun coins and stuff, I understand way more about how these things come about, the narratives, just so much that goes into this that you're just not aware of. If you're like me, and for a long time you knew if I go over to Pump.Fun, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just going to lose my money because I don't really understand the whole environment. Luckily, I got schooled on that and I'm still learning how that works. Matter of fact, I should probably check on the coin that I'm in. It hasn't done much. It's so interesting. Lately, all the coins just kind of seem to sit where they're at when I enter them. But I didn't get into this one. But anyways, it is a meme. It's on Pump.Fun. There's not a whole lot to say here. Do we even have a website? We don't. We will move on from that. Again, if you don't know, Pawns is a launchpad for the Robinhood ecosystem. There has been a few of them. And there has just been it hasn't gone well. I don't know what to say about it. I don't really know all the ins and outs, but all the launchpads for Robinhood have just crumbled and not done well. And I don't know why. Is it, big players in the space holding people down? Did they just really mismanage the platform that bad? But they're done. This one's popping up. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to see how it does. Now, the coin What If, I don't even see it here. I know it's done really well. It's done like a 60x. The Lifer called it out. I don't know what I was doing. I was traveling. I missed it one way or the other. Got to get a little bit better about checking every single person who I follow every day and kind of feeding it to the group. Always many, many layers of things that could be done better. But anyways, it's a launch pad. If you've ever been to any launch pad, then you understand how this works. I do like how clean it is. My number one complaint with most launch pads are that they literally are so cluttered with coins and things, it is very hard to keep them straight. So I like these. And it's very much kind of the same game as Pump.Fun. You're just on a different ecosystem. So if you like that kind of thing, if you want to learn more about launchpads and Pump.Fun and just all the things that go into finding what the narratives are and what is going to do well, throw that in the comments and let me know. Maybe we'll do a little bit more focused stuff there as I become better and better in that arena. Keto. I've been falling asleep this week, tired out. Hey, I totally understand. Don't feel bad if you pass out. It's late too. This stream is later than normal. Saturday night is the only one that's not 8:30 p.m. for me. I'm sure it's totally different for you, Struggleheart. But either way, this one's, I guess, it's earlier or later, depending on where you are. So I kept meaning to mess around with this. I need to get some Aikido coins. There's little games you can play. This was one that I wanted to do on, say, like a DeFi Friday. You can even make your own games, which are pretty cool. I would love to make a simple game and then embed it somewhere, like in the Discord or something like that, and then make it so you can earn, I don't know, some kind of coin or something like that. That would be pretty cool. That would be a lot of fun. And for now, we will put that on the back burner. This is Aikido. We've gone over it a bunch of times. Let's move along here. We've pretty much covered all of that. Let's go to cryptorank.io, where we get a little bit more into the what are institutions doing, what are the big money players doing. Let's go ahead and refresh it. Looks like the fear and greed index is still at 27. Let's see if it is after we refresh this. 27, all right. It's exactly where it was yesterday, I believe, so we won't bother with the fear and greed index. Just always keep that number in the back of your mind. Let's make this top 20 and not the top 10. We have Atleta Network, been around about a year. I love that they have the age of the projects here. Rats, again, Bitcoin DeFi, definitely worth taking a look at, though. Let's go to their website here. It's an animal token created on Bitcoin blockchain using BRC20 protocol, and it has been just doing really well. I think it has just the right combination of narrative, but I don't really know what's really to it. Now, if you don't know what inscriptions are, stuff like that. No listing. See all inscriptions in this collection. This has got to be incorrect here. I feel like Rats is too popular to have nothing going on. But this can be some of the issues that we have, right? So let's get out of this. Back to where we were. All right, so unable to really lock in a website and take a look at that stuff. That's unfortunate. Just know it's a BRC20 token, right? That's all that's really important here. HBAR on the radar. Raven coin, a very popular mining coin. Been around 8.4 years. I'm not into mining as much as I wish I was. There's so many facets of crypto that we are doing everything we can. Like I said, learning pump.fun and things like that. That's a whole category all by itself. So I have to spend time in each one of these categories to really get some at least generally good knowledge about these spaces. And mining is one that I just haven't been able to actually get into. A bit of a monetary barrier, you got to put some money down, and I don't know what to buy. That's the biggest problem. It's not that I have to spend some money on mining, it's that I don't really know what the best thing to buy is. I'd like to buy a miner that I can use to mine multiple different things. When I've looked into it, it was a little bit confusing. Still feels like Friday. I feel you on that one. The weeks go so fast. It really is insane. Giggle Fun coming back kind of from the graveyard. I mean, this was kind of like CZ's baby for a little bit. Many coins have been connected to CZ, right? The owner of Binance, for anybody who doesn't know. I don't know how far I think this can really go. It's gone pretty high before. It's done good numbers before. But it's like an educational thing. And I don't even think it's crypto education. It's just education in general. Let's look at it on the weekly. I mean, we'll go to the monthly and we'll see how high this thing has been before. I mean, it's been as high as about $314. It's only $42. That's really not that far. The tokenomics are good for Giggle. That's why Giggle moves really well as far as in volume, but I just don't see anybody really being all that excited about it. It's like a meme coin, but it's supposed to be very educational. First charity meme coin created entirely by AI. 3% tax, 2% to the Giggle Academy, 1% is burned. That's good tokenomic stuff right there. I'm not gonna lie, I could see Giggle being the first like charity coin to be legit and do well. Now, it also could not be that, but it also very much could be. Look at this. $7 million, right? 7.6 million bucks. Donated to the Giggle Academy. You could do something with that. And here they are kind of highlighting how CZ has shouted them out and kind of partnered with them, at least on a social media kind of exposure level. No team allocation, no dev tax, 100% for education. Now, when they say education, I don't really know what they mean by that. We could dig a lot deeper into it. Elementary school, build one school. Price, $70,000. Now, where that school is, I don't know. But it does look like they're showing you what's going on. Textbook set. Launch subsidy 1 year, which is, I guess, looks like for lunch. Oh, lunch subsidy, not launch subsidy, lunch subsidy. Okay, university tuition 4 years. This is very interesting. Now, a university tuition for only $2,700, I tell you, must be kind of in another country, right? Build a playground. I would like to know. They should do more pictures and videos of where they are specifically doing things. You can follow them on Twitter. Let's do that. Because if they're shelling out dough like that, that's just tons of content. What is this? This is a truly special moment for us. Now, we deep dive stuff here, so we get into things. Sometimes we'll go down a rabbit hole. Bear with me. See what we find. All right, truly special moment for us. This is from November 4th, 2025. It's pinned. I don't know if that's really worth talking about. At first, I was going to go on it, but let's see what their more recent stuff is. Crypto for charity has never been just a slogan. On the 18th of February, we've been building on BNB chain, donated $12 million, and will continue to provide support for free education donations for children. See, but they need to tell us, like, maybe a little more where they're focused. Like, is this money going into Chinese education, African education, anywhere and everywhere? $12 million is a good amount of money, but, like, it won't get you that far. That's for sure. If you're trying to build, like, a real school, $12 million is a drop of water in a bucket. Interesting. Definitely keep an eye on it. I'm glad to see it kind of coming back. The narratives are cool to see, but you never know how much you can trust them. At least this one's been around a while. But I'll be honest, I had completely forgot about Giggle. Giggle was on our radar quite a bit for a while, and then it was gone. Aave, World Mobile Token. Sonic, the old Phantom coin, rebranded. Deep Book. I hold a bag of Deep Book, and I don't think it's done very well. So I would like to see that turn around. Deep Book, I need to keep that in mind. That's probably one that I should throw at least $100 in to kind of really, really even out the playing field on that one. Synthetics, you know what? And I think I hold Deep Book on MEXC Global. I got to go to MEXC Global and try to get everything off of that. I'm not looking forward to it. Not so many new institutional coins. We have Perception Network, DeepIn and AI Network rewarding users for sharing bandwidth and data. This is your normal stuff here. This is Block Mesh Network rebranding as Perception. This seems like a good rebrand, although Block Mesh Network kind of seemed like it was a little more straight to the point, but Perception Network is a lot catchier. 6.5 million raised here. It's a decentralized physical infrastructure network, aka DeepIn, because that's what DeepIn stands for, and AI data economy platform. The protocol allows users to monetize their unused internet bandwidth and data by running lightweight network nodes via browser extension or mobile application. Kind of reminds me of Grass, reminds me of a lot of different projects. We were just looking at a project called Bless. Same idea. Because that AI, no matter what it is, what the application of AI is, needs a ton of resources that are just not readily available, and they're not cheap. That's why you have to pay for everything when you want to really use any kind of ChatGPT or Claude or any of those. You gotta shell out some money, because they do not get to do all of that for free. And it would be a pain if you were trying to use ChatGPT and they just served you like ad after ad after ad. Again, Basket raised a whopping 14,000. It's nothing amazing. It's just a multi-asset index token on Solana. This could do really well. It could do very poorly as well. It's very hard to tell. It's kind of whoever manages it, right? Then we have Reserve Right and Axie Infinity. Can pretty much move along for that. Let's take a look at our top gainers, top losers. We will refresh this here. Yep, drop of water in a bucket, exactly. I mean, 12 million for education sounds great, but like building a school, what, 50 million? At least where I am in America, when they build a school, they spend $100 million building a school. You know what I mean? Like $12 million wouldn't probably buy you the paint. Probably might buy you the paint for the school, maybe. Let's see. Gainers and losers. MetaDAO, KDO, and Akash Network. Glad to see Akash Network on the radar. Cardano getting a 5% pump out of nowhere. That's interesting. Not a whole lot going on. And Dog with Hat down big. Starknet, which we've interacted with Starknet a lot. I like the protocol and everything, but it's down. Everything has its day. It'll probably be up tomorrow. So nothing amazing. Almost 5% top loser, 30% top gainer though for MetaDAO. Yeah, let's go take a look at MetaDAO. I like Blockworks a lot. So far, nothing really bad to say about them. Tons of information to the point where it could be a little overwhelming if you're not used to looking at a lot of this data. I like how they set it the side up here, just like CoinGecko. I think that is very smart. I like this, the way it is set up. Crypto Rank doesn't really do it like this, and it kind of irks me a little bit. Total revenue, total raise. I mean, like, you just don't get all these metrics usually on other websites. Successful ICO raisings. Basket, permissionless launch. Looks like Basket is one of them. Again, something I would not normally get a ton of information on. MetaDAO has ICO raisings for different coins. Basket, we were just looking at. Look, $14,955 raised. We were just talking about this. And you can see now that that was launched on MetaDAO. See how we kind of piece everything together here? They have a trading view input here. Symbol doesn't exist. Well, then we don't need that, do we? I'm not as used to using Blockworks for this type of thing, but I'll get more and more used to it. All right, that's our top gainers, top losers. Where do we want to go from here? Back to the news, maybe? BNB Chain is pursuing legal action against a former employee over a meme coin. This is a meme coin ethics story, but also a wallet control and international security story. BNB Chain says a former employee kept unauthorized access to a seed phrase from a tutorial wallet and later used it to launch a meme coin called Asteroid. We remember when that thing came out. According to the block, Look On Chain said the wallets linked to the former employee bought nearly 80% of the token supply for 10 grand and sold most of it for about 638,000. I mean, he just dumped on everybody's heads. Now, that's something you got to know about. You buy a meme coin, you need to look to see the supply. You can go to Crypto Bubbles, V2 Bubbles, and several other places. You can look to see who's holding the majority of the tokens, and if somebody owns 80% of the supply of a token, that's not a good sign. Solana Foundation's new security chief says AI scams are getting much more dangerous. Solana Foundation warned that crypto security threats are increasingly coming from AI-powered social engineering. Okay, deepfakes, fake identities, and credentials compromise. That's not just smart contract bugs. He said crypto needs security systems that protect users' default because AI-driven scams will make it easier to impersonate people and trick even careful users. AI is not just crypto payment narrative anymore. It's becoming a crypto threat. Don't give your seed phrase to anybody for any reason. Don't give your password to anybody for any reason. If you feel like Coinbase is legitimately asking for your information, they're not, because Coinbase already has your information. They don't need you to give them your information. They already have it. You go to Coinbase, and Coinbase, I'm just using it as an example. You go to Coinbase, you put in whatever, your username, password, whatever you have associated with your account, and they let you in. Well, they let you in because they already know what your password is and your username and which one is connected to it. Like, they don't need you to give them anything. And that's for centralized exchanges, all of these things. Just don't give anybody anything. Don't give anybody anything. That's where I'm at. Don't give anybody anything until they've proven who they are like 18 times in 18 different ways. And then maybe I'll think about giving them some kind of information. The cold card wallet exploit story keeps getting worse. Cold card generated keys. See, this is something that Struggerheart brought up and brought to my attention. I don't know if this is specifically the story you were talking about. Galaxy Research flagged another wave of attacks tied to weak cold card generated keys. When they say cold card generated keys, I don't know what they mean necessarily, right? Do they mean, is Cold Card a company? I'll have to look more into this and tell you guys what I find. I don't know. It's like, you know how you have Ledger, you have Tether, you have all kinds of different cold storage wallets, right? Is Cold Card its own, or is a Cold Card generated key a specifically type of key for a cold storage wallet? I don't know, but we'll have to figure that out. With total observed losses reaching about 1,367 Bitcoin, or nearly 89 million, from 4,585 addresses. That's quite a... See, the thing is, that's a lot of addresses. And at the same time, it's also not. Like, if they could just get into every cold storage wallet, they would have just taken all the money. They would just take all the money, right? So there's obviously some kind of limit. You got to read these things with a little bit of crypto IQ. There's some kind of limit to what they're able to exploit and get into. The flaw traces back to a March 2021 firmware built... Hey, what's up? Hello? Hello? All right, that was my wife. I do not believe she meant to call me. Struggerheart says AI scams are on blast. Yep, don't remember my seed phrase anyways. There you go. Yeah, can't give it to them if you don't know it. Got to use that brain. Until you need it, though. Until you go to update whatever thing you're using and they want you to restore from the seed phrase. So if you really don't know your seed phrase, I would get a new wallet and move everything to a new wallet, because not knowing your seed phrase is not a good thing. Built for user predictive. Okay, so the flaw traces back to a March 2021. That is a long time ago. Think about that. There was a flaw in March of 2021. Firmware built that used predictable software randomness during seed generation, letting attackers reproduce vulnerable keys offline without touching the device. But if it's from 2021, wouldn't everybody's wallets be hacked? Just everybody's wallets. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, hackers be hacking, and there's no limit to how much money they would like to have. They would like to have all the money, and why would they stop? So there must be something to this, right? This is one of the scariest kind of wallet failures because the device does not need to be hacked directly. Bad randomness can poison the whole seed. Just trying to really think this through here, because I kind of trying to think of how much should we actually be worried about this story. A cold card wallet must be a specific type of cold storage wallet, and I've never heard of them. So what does that tell you? Circle's regulatory story is still important going into next week. Circle says it will report Q2 2026 earnings on Wednesday, August 5th. Will it matter? I don't know, but it's good to see. Recent approval to establish Circle National Trust remains a major stablecoin infrastructure story. Circle is trying to make USDC look less like a crypto product and more like a regulated financial infrastructure or instrument, I would call it. Clarity Act odds are fading, and JP Morgan says that matters. If U.S. crypto rules stall, Wall Street may tokenize assets, but not necessarily on blockchain, public blockchain. That could be a problem. If they don't get this stuff out in America, they're just going to fall super behind, which is not going to go well. Tether's profit story comes with a reserve buffer question. Tether is still making huge money, no surprise, but stablecoin transparency and reserve composition remains front and center issue. Tokenized stocks, stablecoin payments, what people are talking about on social media, crypto sanctions, and AI scams. All right, well, that's a good, I think, pulse on the news for tonight. We've gone over everything we normally go over. It is rolling into 11 o'clock. It's a Saturday, so, you know, we could spend a ton of time on that stuff, but I'm just going to move right along here and pop back over to Sunflower Land, see what's going on. And as you know, we are entering into the Underground Crypto Hangout section of the night. If you have any questions, let me know. I think it was a pretty successful stream. It's been an odd week, full of travel, full of things to do, full of work that is not my usual work, even though it feels a lot like what I would normally do. And there's been plane rides, and there's been, 24-hour car drives. Not rides, but drives. And it's been a whole lot. And then right back at it with all of my normal businesses and things. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to the day where I can just make enough money on crypto YouTube to just hang out with you guys and make tons of video and do all kinds of stuff. So don't sleep on potentially dropping a super chat at some point. If you've never dropped one before, show your support. I do spend hours setting streams up and also actually live streaming 2 hours a day. Just for anybody who doesn't realize that these things don't do themselves. All right, what do we want to plant here? Oh, we need some of this rhubarb seed, that's for sure. Oh, really cool announcement actually about Sunflower Land. And I put it in the game. We do have a tab for GameFi, which is DeFi gaming for anybody who doesn't know. But let's go take a trip to the plaza. So there's this whole element coming to Sunflower Land. A Yakamon. What do you think a Yakamon would be? All right, let's click on it. It says a brand new creature collection is landing on Ronin, and pre-registration has just opened. Now, first of all, I don't think I use a Ronin wallet to log into this account, so will I be able to use it? I don't know. Built by the creators of Sunflower Land. Catch, train, and battle a whole world of Yakamon. Pre-registry now to be one of the first to play. And if you go to access, it says August 2nd, which is like in an hour. So let's see if in an hour they let me in here. I don't think I'll still be live streaming. But basically, their version of Pokemon is coming. It's built by the people who built Sunflower. Does that mean that it will be playable within Sunflower? Is it a separate game? I would really like to see them put it as one game, right? Don't separate it. Don't make it two totally different things. It says, yeah, good stuff. I appreciate you being here tonight, Stregaheart. I'm sure you're tired. See if we can ever beat this game. I always get whooped at this game. I really like the game that they had for the festival that was just like Mattel. I couldn't quite figure out how to do well at it. Let's see, can I get through here without dying? The parameters around like the items and how close you can get to them really do be messing me up. We need to get to 30, it says. Wow, I'm actually playing this like I'm not terrible at this game. It's crazy. I just need to keep circling here. Try to get those chickens that are right up against something, and they just crush you. Oh, I got so lucky there. Absolutely lucky. So many items in the way. Boom. Oh, missed that one. I don't know how long I can really keep this up for. Seems like all of a sudden I actually understand the distancing here. All right, we actually hit the goal. I don't know if it really matters how much farther we go here. At this point, we can just kind of crash out, huh? Yeah, we're done there. Hey, we actually got the marks, though. And let's hop over to Chainers. Chainers, what we always manage to do at the end of the night. Melissa dropping our link to the YouTube channel. Definitely think about subscribing. I think everybody here is probably subscribed at this part of the show. Get to replanting everything here. And it's been another successful stream. You know, with all that I have going on and stuff, I could have been like, let's just start on a Monday, give me the weekend off. But, you know, we got to get back into it. We can't let too much time escape us. It's not very often that I have to do something like go up to Maine and help out. I've been putting it off for years. Not really putting it off as much as I had too much going on to actually go. So I actually could make it happen this year. So I kind of had to make it happen. Let's go to BNB. And let's drop our harvest in. And let's see what we get. Oh, that got us a lot of different things here. Let's go to the missions. See what we get in our pack. Oh, leek seeds. I think I need corn really bad, and I never can seem to get it. It's never for sale in the shop. Chili peppers. Okay, I'm getting good stuff there. And let's see what we get in here. Bang. Fertilizer. Always need fertilizer. I got a lot of upgrades to do. Tons of legendary fertilizer, and all the upgrades I need require like regular fertilizer here. If you want to try out the Chainers, stack up some Polygon or some BNB for free, well, you just go right to the description and find the link there. I won't get a penny unless you buy something in the shop for actual money, right? Here's the shop. They have an in-game currency, right? But they also have Tether that you can use on the Polygon network. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Pool plots and sugarcane seed. I don't know anything about none of that. I got some in-game currency. I would like to buy some corn. Corn seed, 1.3 Tether. I have no Tether in the wallet associated here. I really just need corn. Not gonna let it happen, huh? Peas. I bought some peas. I need the corn to make animal feed so we can feed the animals, and they're just not gonna give it to me. They like to keep that corn very elusive. Let's hit that mini game. Striker Heart says glad to make it. Hey, I'm glad that you made it, especially on a Saturday night where it's a little later. All right, we just need to get to 1,000 points, and then we will get our free item here. And I will probably hop off for the night at that point. Usually streams more like 2 hours, but what? We're an hour in on a Saturday night. Feels about right. Usually we have like a whole, I don't know if you guys realize, the educational part of the show usually takes about an hour to do. If you know, I break it up a little bit, but altogether it takes probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And that's how we get to like 2 hours most streams before I even realize how late it is. My dog is like endlessly whining outside the door, driving me absolutely nuts. I'm trying my best not to get very annoyed with the dog. If you have a dog, then you totally understand. They want to be in the same room as you 24/7. I hate how in the beginning of this, like, you have to get to 1,000 points. You could get there so fast, but they just like slow feed. They just slow feed these characters out, and it's just kind of annoying. It used to not be like that. It used to be a lot faster. Finally, they're starting to come out. We can get this over with. This game is just more of like a daily thing to do for an item in the shop. Sometimes I get some really good items. Sometimes I get quite a bit of the in-game currency. So it's worth doing, but it's not like a super exciting game. They have a new game coming. They keep saying it's coming. I don't know if it'll ever actually come through. And I don't know what it's about. It just has like dinosaurs and I don't know, volcanoes and stuff like that. I don't know what it's about. I guess we'll see if they ever launch it. It said coming soon since I started playing the game. And then they had an update on it, and it seemed like it was about to launch, and then still says coming soon. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, I'm going to let them take me out because I am absolutely done playing this. Shout out to everybody who's still here. Hope you guys have a great night. I'm sure a couple people already hopped off, as I said that I was hopping off. People always tell me, don't tell them that you're leaving or that you're closing it up. But it's the end of the stream. We're leaving anyways. Shout out to all the undergrounders. We'll be back Monday with a fresh stream, with a fresh educational, pivot. Maybe we'll be doing the Pulse Chain stuff, Hex, ecosystem stuff. Good chances, unless I see something that I think is more, relevant to do. Have a great night. Stay underground. Stay crypto. I'll catch you in the next live stream. Link to the free Discord. Check that out. That's where you can find me when we are not live streaming. Underground Crypto out.